Good evening. The events you're going to witness tonight are disturbing, horrifying, but most of all, true. Do not try to recreate anything that you see in this footage tonight.
The footage you are about to witness was attempted by professionals. Do not attempt to act with any paranormal entities. If you encounter paranormal entities, always contact your local paranormal researchers.
Never try to interact with a paranormal entity yourself. You will get hurt.
And lastly, this is the last known footage of the hosts of Mad Tower Radio, WeTCG, and the unnamed cameraman. If you have any information about their whereabouts, keep it to yourself.
Airtight Bridge, Coles County, Illinois. If you ever think you've been in the middle of nowhere, then you need to go here and reassess the meaning of the phrase. It's desolate, wooded, quiet, nestled on a gravel road only big enough for one car at a time to squeak by. The entire time we were there, only one car drove by. The closest house is half a mile up the road. The point is, there's nothing here except for this bridge. But what's so special about it? October 19th, 1980. Two men on the bridge spotted a body floating in the river. It was a woman who could not be identified. She was mutilated with her hands, feet, and head removed. It was investigated for over a year to no end, until she was buried at Charleston, Illinois' Mound Cemetery as a Jane Doe. In 1992, 12 years after the case went cold, the victim was identified as Diana Small of Bradley, Illinois. Law enforcement had a breakthrough via cooperation between Bradley detectives and the Coles County Sheriff Department. The reason it took so long to ID her was because she wasn't reported missing until 1992 by family members who only saw her occasionally. Her husband said he wasn't concerned because Diana had up and left for days at a time before. Her husband, Thomas Small, was initially arrested and questioned, but there wasn't enough evidence to prove it was him, and the killer remained at large. The case was reopened in 2012, though Kankakee County detectives didn't reveal what made them reopen the case, or what their smoking gun was. But they did release that in 2017, Thomas Small confessed to killing his wife. Finally, Diana's murder was solved, and a 70-year-old Thomas Small was sentenced to 30 years in prison. And when tragedy strikes in most places, so do two stories of ghosts and hauntings. Locals say that the bridge is haunted by a ghost. They also describe an unnatural stillness to the bridge when crossing over it. On the internet, locals and visitors tell stories of their paranormal experiences at the bridge. So the Mad Tower Radio boys, and very famous YouTuber, WeTCG, decided they wanted some of this action for themselves. And you may be wondering what our qualifications are. And I am pleased to inform you that we have spent rigorous hours in the most technologically advanced and realistic paranormal investigation simulator available today.
Top of the morning, bro. It's the bottom of the morning.
Top of the morning,
Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning.
So we mounted up in the Gunchmobile and made our 3-hour road trip to Airtight Bridge with nothing but our cold weather clothes, road trip snacks, Amazon ghost hunting gear, and the power of friendship to head out on our first paranormal investigation. Mad Tower Radio presents Investigation 1, Airtight Bridge. So our investigation, using that term liberally, was great. We had some creepy moments, got some great footage, and a couple of things you might consider evidence. We're going to break it down in order of events as they occurred, and then we're going to give it a haunted rating at the end. Here's Christian with the daytime recon.
We arrived at Airtight Bridge with less than an hour of sunlight to work with, because we wanted to get an initial recon of the area, to make sure it was mostly abandoned and it was relatively safe during our nighttime trek. Our equipment was a bit amateurish, to be honest. The main pieces of investigationary tools were a crucifix, a couple of smudge sticks for protection, and a $30 Amazon EMF reader. I was also able to bring a Ziploc bag full of salt in order for us to leave any sort of salt traps for footprints or any other kind of movement that we might be able to track. Now we wanted to show you the surrounding area. It's relatively abandoned. There's not many cars going by over the course of our entire investigation. Only one vehicle passed us on this road. And beyond that is all forests and valleyed plains. So we wanted to lead you on our first walkthrough of the space.
The bridge is only big enough for one car at a time, so that's great. We got walkie-talkies. Maybe the ghost will talk to us on a walkie-talkie. We get like a little spirit box action. We got some salt. We're gonna put out some salt, see if we can get a footprint.
We got some salt. The Ziploc baggy salt.
So, yeah. How's everybody feeling now that we're here? I know it was a little bit of a drive.
It's fire.
Yeah. Well, what do you think we're gonna see? You think we're gonna get any action?
We're definitely gonna see something.
I like the stability of this shit.
You think we're gonna get any action tonight, Christian?
I hope not. Oh, jeez. You know, I feel safe. Josh with us. He's sturdy.
How do y'all feel about the elements tonight?
It's cold. It's cold.
Yeah, it's about 27 degrees. It's the middle of December. The only thing I'm not rock solid on is my shoes. I didn't bring any boots, so I'm rocking like Vans for this ghost hunt.
The fuck? Everybody else came out here with boots.
Josh has some like good old tennis shoes on.
Yeah, but Josh is simply just built different.
Can I show you my most important piece of equipment?
Sure.
So, what this?
What is that?
Is that garlic? Oh, it's
slug?
It's a 3D printed slug. It's gonna be in my pocket, and it's gonna I'm gonna fidget with it.
Oh no.
Ghost hunting is a more
Oh,
wild game.
The daytime recon ended with the sunset on our trail. We left in order to let the ghost wake up and get ready. By this point, we were all laughs and jokes, and genuinely excited for the investigation in the dark, but we had some time to kill before then. We drove about 45 minutes back to the nearest point of civilization, Tuscola, Illinois, and dicked around looking for a place to eat. After a heated debate between Dairy Queen and McDonald's, we settled for Chinese buffet. After finishing our meal, we were eager to get back in the Gunchmobile and roll back to Airtight Bridge. But as soon as we got closer, the feelings of dread started to settle in. I can't speak for everyone else, but arriving at night was a much scarier experience. I rolled through each twist and turn slowly until we finally came to the bridge.
Tight bridge. Not exactly looking airtight though.
Oh yeah, this is definitely.
Oh, fuck.
Well, here we are at the bridge.
Yeah. We're gonna get out and see what's up. Feels a lot longer in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, he went over really slow. It's alright, it's an alright bridge.
We parked the car and got out, and quickly realized, what's the proper way to conduct a paranormal investigation? We started gathering our equipment and put together a loose plan, and just kind of walked around the bridge.
Got so many electronics around it.
Every time we cut comm, or like when you finish a call, it spikes.
Well, that's good. I don't have one. Well, let me see.
That's you who's like, "Grr."
Yep, it's just that.
You got my
What's this chick's name? I thought it was a Jane Doe. Well, they got the name. Who confessed to it, I thought. Yeah, I got the name.
This is very real now that I'm here and actually hunting the ghosts.
No shit. Sweet.
I don't particularly feel like I'm hunting it as much as I'm like creeping around its house hoping not to wake it up.
That's also true.
I really enjoy this. You want to go down there?
Where the fuck did Joe go?
Joe's taking a piss. What was that?
Are you recording it?
Did you
Yeah,
get that?
I recorded that.
What was that?
I don't know.
The walkies have a talk or a call function.
Someone calling?
Just punching buttons on that thing.
After that, Christian and I decided to deploy salt piles to see if we could get a footprint of the ghost walking through.
I have my suspicions that the salt trap's gonna work because, as you know, the victim doesn't have feet.
Trying to see if I'm getting false EMFs from my phone or not.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm getting false readings because I held my light right next to it. Alright, let's go salt the front of the bridge.
I'm thinking right here.
Right here? Right there? Alright, let's send it.
Just a little wind. Just a little wind. Nothing to be concerned about.
Christian brought salt in a Ziploc
I
bag.
brought a hefty bag of salt. And this isn't table salt, boss. This is a high grain.
This is high quality, high caliber Guncheon salt. Oh yeah, I think that's perfect.
Yeah. But like I said, she doesn't have feet, you know?
We'll see. Down here deploying our second salt pile.
Underneath the bridge.
We are underneath the bridge right now. We're gonna try right here at this little inlet under the bridge. Oh, we're live. I know how to put these salt traps down. Give her one more. So, do you think we're doing this by the book enough?
Can you see that light over here that I could not see from over the bridge? You see it up there?
Yeah.
Like a residential or something?
Yeah, I see that. Shortly after, Christian suggested we split into small teams, and do a smaller and more quiet investigation. Dom, Josh, and Joe went first, and this is where we encountered our first piece of what might be considered evidence.
Trespassing. Violators will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. Wonderful.
At this point, Dom's camera dies, and you can hear him say it on Josh's footage. The weird part is, Josh's camera suddenly refocuses on Dom despite him being in frame already, the camera dying despite a full battery, and Josh's camera randomly refocusing stuck out as strange to us, but could still just as easily be explained in other ways.
Oh,
While it was charging.
really? Oh, do you know the thing about ghosts and blurring the camera? My camera just went out of focus on you for no reason.
Joe. Oh, what's in the tire?
What are those? No! Oh no! Yeah, we found some dolls.
Well,
We found 2 cursed dolls.
3.
There's a whole
That's another one right there. Alright, let's head back.
When they returned, Christian and I swapped out and took our turn on a small team investigation. We cleared our heads, left all but essential electronics at the car, and went out into the dark. I'm shaking, I know the question on the tip of my fucking tongue, but I don't want to ask it.
What question is that, bro?
You already know. Oh, God. What else do you ask on a Ouija board? Is there anyone here with us? Is there anyone around this bridge? Can you give us a sign that you're here?
Just a let's call it a non-interpretable sign. Pretty clear hello would be appreciated.
After trying to talk to the ghost on the bridge failed, we crossed to the other side and went down by our salt trap to try and talk to the ghost once more. This is where I felt that unnatural stillness that everyone talks about. and also where Christian and I encountered what you might be able to consider evidence. To our side, from underneath the bridge, we heard what sounded like footsteps crunching the leaves. We were disappointed when it didn't capture on the camera's audio, but when we were listening to it in editing, we heard something else.
I guess.
Then you want to give a polite summary, a respectful analysis of what we're dealing with?
Yeah. Way back in the 80s, a woman was killed. Not here, but this is where her mutilated body washed up. And I guess this place used to be like a campground, swimming hole kind of thing. You can't really see it in the dark. You'll probably see.
Those dogs.
You'll probably see it better in the daytime footage, but this is where they were. This is where she was found. But that was like 40 years ago. Who knows how much the topography could have changed and whatnot and all that. Could you There's too many leaves. We need to go back on the bridge.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh, it's definitely something that appears to be moving down here. Definitely some footsteps or something. And that's
a hot spot.
That put the fight or flight in me. Let's just say.
I feel like I'm making a Blair Witch fan film right now.
Getting ready to return. How y'all doing over there?
It may be hard to hear, but I isolated the clip. At the same time Christian and I snapped our heads to turn towards the crunching of the leaves, you can hear what sounds like a moan or a whisper into the microphone. It freaked us out quite a bit when we heard it, but it could also just as easily be explained as something else.
Changed and whatnot and all that. Could you,
After this, we went back to the car and considered all our options exhausted. We decided to burn some sage in order to cleanse the area and say goodbye to the ghost. Apparently there's some kind of sage-burning mantra you're supposed to recite, but I didn't have cell phone service to look it up, so we wung it with our own words. The woman who unfortunately was found at this bridge. We're burning the sage in hopes that it helps you find better rest in the great beyond, or whatever it is the afterlife is, and yeah, I don't know. First ghost hunt. Pretty cool. Christian, you want to say some words? Pass you the sage?
We tried to go about this in the most respectful and investigative manner. I think we did our due diligence with not trying to purposefully elicit any angry responses. Just, a sign. Are you there? Can you communicate with us? And I think each of us had a little moment to maybe feel something out there tonight. And I call that a complete success. Thank you all for coming out.
We mounted up once more and got the hell out of there, and lived to ghost hunt another day. Now let me quickly explain our haunted scale. It works on a scale of 1 through 3. A 1 being nothing of interest happened, a 2 being some creepy moments and maybe some things you would consider evidence, and 3, the walls are bleeding and Dom's head starts spinning around. Now with that out of the way, given all of our experiences at Airtight Bridge, I would give it a 2 on the haunted scale. We had some creepy moments, but nothing that couldn't be explained by science. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video if you want to see more ghost hunts and investigations like this. This has been Mad Tower Radio, with Investigation 1 of Airtight Bridge, ending transmission.
A frequency beyond space and time.
Unspeakable knowledge. It is Mad Tower Radio.